My feed on every single platform that I go on is just filled with junk journaling. And as someone who used to formerly bullet journal, I have been so intrigued by the whole junk journal world. Basically take everything you know about scrapbooking and then times it by 100, and that's junk journaling. People get so into it. They use so many different materials and photos and handwriting, and it's just this collage of memory storing, inspiration, really whatever you want it to be. It kind of reminds me of bullet journaling in that sense, and that it can be very creative, but I think bullet journaling is a lot more geared towards making a planning system, helping you sort out and organize your life, whereas junk journaling is more creative expression. I feel something deep in my soul that is telling me that I need to experiment with this, to try it out. So I'm going to start my very own junk journal today, but I'm going to do it with a twist. I'm doing it digitally, not with an IRL journal. This is me holding my IRL journal. I'm going to be doing my junk journal with my iPad and my Apple Pencil and a really fun app that is not GoodNotes. I know you think it's going to be GoodNotes. It's not. Although GoodNotes would work. More on that very shortly, but I feel like a good starting place is just to look at some junk journals that are on my feed right now, just to get some inspiration. I'm gonna also take out the audio for all these TikToks so that I don't get copyright. But this one's so cute, like little coffee cup, Polaroid, and bada boom, look at that, cute. Oh, wow. You know, I think a big part of junk journaling is, yeah, using those like random materials that you come across in your life to kind of document moments. So I know by doing this digitally, I'm losing out on some of that, but I still think it's the move for me. Let's see, Pinterest. This picture right here from Savannah Scribbles, perfect example of like how I think there is so many similarities between at least the bullet journal style I used to do, which was a little bit more scrapbook heavy, and I think that's why I'm so intrigued by this. But as we know, I don't use a bullet journal anymore for like my planning needs, so I've kind of drifted away from that and use more digital tools. I think the key to also looking at things on like Pinterest or Instagram or TikTok when you're trying to get inspiration for your own journals is not to get too strict with yourself in that like you have to create something equally aesthetic. This is the iPad Pro. I'll have links to the latest one down below because this one's a few years old. For my digital junk journal, I'm gonna use an app on the iPad called Paper. Now I found out about this app, I wanna say like 8 months ago. I started using it a little bit, but then I stopped, and actually junk journaling is what made me remember it, because I thought this would be like the app to use for something like this. This view of the journal is probably the best part about it from a junk journal perspective or any kind of journaling, is that you can easily flip through your pages and it gives you that effect that you get when you are actually flipping through your pages rapidly in real life. But then you can zoom in and you've got all these different tools that you can play with. There's also some features within here that I'll show that I think are gonna really work well for this junk journal. So let me start a new one. I wanna change my band cover. Ooh, yellow. I am gonna do grid just because I feel like it helps me line everything up, and we're gonna dive right into it. We're page 1. I just have so much fun going back and forth with this. I already have a physical journal that is strictly handwriting. It's me writing 3 pages a day at the start of my day every single day, and I love doing that physically with a pen and a paper. And I'm already on my 2nd physical journal for 2024 alone. We're not even like, or we just hit the halfway mark of 2024. So the physicality of like having all these types of journals is beautiful, but also like don't have the space for it. So that's why this one is going to be more digital. 2, there's also a lot of supplies that you need for junk journaling. Now it seems like a lot of people get this from just collecting scraps of paper from their life as they live life, but you definitely can go down the track of like getting supplies to for your junk journal and making sure you have different paper types so that you can play around with textiles and patterns. And I have some of those supplies that I just have naturally as someone who does like creative stuff and like who has bullet journaled in the past, but I just don't want to go down the road of like buying more things. And I feel like this is a great way to do something with like the digital stuff that I come across online that inspires me too. Like I feel like I'm always saving quotes and images, pinning stuff on Pinterest boards, and then you just kind of let them like exist there. But wouldn't it be fun to actually do something with them and make them even more creative than just like saving them? Before we get started in the journaling itself, I'm gonna head on over to Pinterest. And on Pinterest, I'm really just gonna scroll and save different things that like just pop out to me. I'm not gonna put much thought into it. Ooh, these could be fun. Ooh, I like this camera. I think that's one of my favorite parts about Pinterest is once you find one image, you just kind of end up going down the rabbit hole, and it's a beautiful thing. Now, obviously, I'm purposely going to Pinterest right now to find inspo, which I think is great, but ideally, like, this is stuff that I'll collect over time as I'm naturally navigating the internet and putting these aside into a separate album so that they're ready to go when I want to journal or do something with them. I haven't spoken for like 5 minutes. I'm just like getting lost in this. Now that I've got some materials I want to play with, we're gonna dive into page number 1. I've got my different images. Oh, already having fun. Now this taxi cab I think would be really cute, but I'm gonna cut it out. This is one of my favorite parts about this app. This is not even sponsored. I'm having a fun time with it. Now I've got a little sticker. Oh wow, that's so cute. I'm gonna delete that. I'm kind of wondering if I want to cut a flower out of this. I'm gonna take out this flower. I think I'm gonna draw one instead. We'll just go with Junk Journal 2024. My handwriting looked like atrocious. I'm gonna try that again. Okay, I think that looks better. Pull a color from that photo. Oh, this is so cute. This is also one of the best parts about digital journaling is you can just erase anything that you're like, no, that's actually not gonna be the move. Gotta say, like where this is going so far. So that's my little intro page. Obviously, is it perfect? No, but I can always add to it. To the next page. This I think is going to be more of like a reading focused page. This is my first official page. I really want to make sure everything's pretty much covered with something. I'm always like looking for new ways to document books I'm reading and just like journal about thoughts. So this is kind of like a general look at it, but I could see this being such even a fun thing to focus on, like 2 pages for a specific book that I'm reading. Like I just read Crescent City not that long ago, and it's a fantasy novel, so of course there's world building, very vibrant world building. And I could see it being so cool to just make spreads that are even inspired by that world. Wow, I love like the way this looks. Already this is just so much fun to just flip through the first 2 pages. Next one, I just kind of want to have fun with the images that I got off Pinterest, like, and pick the ones that speak the most to me. Because there are no rules here. It's a junk journal. Since junk journaling really encourages you to just use a lot of different materials and types of photos and different just visuals, I feel like there's a lot less pressure to get it perfect. Even if things don't quite match up, it still works. And I think that's especially clear once you zoom out and just look at the spread as a whole, because there were times while I was putting this one in particular together where I was like, I don't know, something's not working here. And then by the end, I just felt like, wow, it all kind of came together, and there's still opportunity obviously to keep adding and to play around further. Digital journaling definitely gives you the opportunity to keep making edits and rearranging things at whatever point, whenever you desire. I really just felt like this was a great opportunity to mentally let loose and do something fun and not worry too much, shut my brain off. It'd be a perfect activity to do while binge watching shows instead of scrolling on my phone. Like this, I think, is a little bit more stimulating. It's definitely a version of self-care I can see myself doing a lot more in the future. I like the fact that this one's just like all over the place, but even as I put this together, I feel like, oh, I could include digital tickets because I have like receipts or digital copies of tickets that I've been to for like baseball games or concerts. That'd be really fun to integrate into this with photos of the event. Inspiration for like decor when it comes to tackling different projects around my apartment. Like I could just see myself really having fun with this, and I just love how in this app this kind of looks together. Let me know in the comment section down below if you have heard about junk journaling. Do you junk journal, or do you have any form of journaling involved in your life in any type of form? I'm curious to know. I feel like journaling will forever be a part of my life, even though it's gone through so many different evolutions in my life. It was so much fun to like do this on camera with you. Wish I would have gone through a few more pages, but it is quite the process to do this, so gotta take my time with it. If you want to see more junk journaling specific videos, let me know too. I can definitely do journal along with me videos where we focus less on gathering images and setting up the journal, and more just like on the pages themselves. Ciao, ciao. I'll see you guys soon with another one.